Hey everybody, welcome to the NFL Division round of the playoffs. We are here to preview that action for you and get some bets out there so you guys can make some money by betting against me. That's been the way to do it all year long. Poker guy, are you ready for this, brother?
This is divisional weekend, dude. This is, if ever there's a weekend of good football, it's this weekend. So whatever you have to do, cancel it. IKEA trip, canceled.
Canceled.
Costco,
Already canceled. Nope.
canceled. Everything's canceled.
No,
Sit in front of your
home.
TV, veg out. This day does not count. Order Papa John's, order Domino's, get the delicious fucking brownie melt thing. Just get whatever you need to get. Just get whatever you need to get.
Get the diabetes. Get it all.
The diabetes, the Johnny Walker, the Corona, the weed, the ecstasy, whatever you need. This is the week.
You want to be peak fucked up this weekend. Whatever your thing is, get a stash of it. Be ready for what some call the best weekend in the NFL. I wouldn't do that because I'm a red zone guy. I love every week of the red zone. It feels kind of empty. And some of these games, let's be honest, they can fucking drag ass. If you've ever seen an entire Tennessee Titans game, holy shit, it feels like you're moving backwards in time. Watching that exotic smash mouth, whatever, the sweet band that plays fucking All-Star, the exotic All-Star band. Offense is fucking terrible. It's tough to sit through those things.
Not just every game, man. All games are like that now. They'll take like commercial breaks like all the time. So
I don't like it when people are injured, but I like to build a buffer for the games that I'm watching. If I could watch a perfect game, it's the nail biter, and I come into the end of it, maybe like halfway through the fourth quarter, I catch up with the live action. Mm-hmm. So I like to leave like an hour. Like if you leave about an hour, there's enough of Chris Collinsworth slow motioning replays where you can just fucking fast forward through that. You look at it once, you say to yourself, he didn't fucking catch that. And then just fast forward through the next 5 minutes of people being like, I'll tell you what, I don't know if that thing was moving or not. And then you don't have to worry about that shit. So I love getting a little bit of a buffer. A perfect Saturday for me would be Colts Chiefs. That's over. And then I'm playing Call of Duty for like an hour while I'm getting a little bit of a TiVo buffer. Cowboys Rams, and then I'm into that, and then I'm catching up with that. Watch that. I can take my old ass to bed, even though it's like 8:30 West Coast time on a Saturday. Call it an evening. You probably got stuff to do tomorrow.
You ate too much pizza, you know. You're just too much garlic butter, you know.
Got some. Here's the thing about Papa John's. So we joke about Papa John's. We joke about it so much that it makes me want Papa John's. The rest of the stuff that we joke about, it's in my DNA. I can't not drink a Diet Mountain Dew. I can't not go to Taco Bell, and I can't not eat Chipotle. Like that's just, I can't.
You guys love it.
I can't resist it. I love it. It's on the flag. It's all on the flag. But
I mean, you always talk about it, and you don't realize you're talking about it, and then here we are talking about it again. You know, you just fucking love it, man. That's what you do.
Let's go ahead. Let's get into some of these games. Let's start Saturday, like that perfect Saturday we were talking about. It's going to start Colts to the Chiefs. Over-unders 57. Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites at home against Captain Andrew Luck and his troops. Playoff Andy, here we go. Here we go.
This is it.
We've been waiting for you.
Rest. You were able to rest for a week, man. This is it.
This is like that scene. Is that an Inception as well? I feel like I've been referencing that a lot lately. I've watched it, in the last 6 months maybe. But anyhow, it's like where he says, I'm this person. He says, I've been waiting for you. Yeah, we've been waiting for you, Playoff Andy. We've been waiting for you. And what are you going to do? 5.5 points. The Colts are red hot. Any other situation, I would love to believe in the Chiefs. But fuck, man. I mean, it's Patty Mahomes, Andrew Luck. Last time I picked against Andrew Luck, I took Deshaun Watson over him. And nope. Mahomes has been way better than Watson. I like Watson. I'm a Watson fan, but Mahomes is fucking better than him. He's got to admit
Mahomes
it.
is really good. He's really good.
I mean, 50
Nobody's
touchdowns.
saying otherwise. I mean, he's amazing, but you always talk about momentum. You know, I mean, the Colts have momentum. They got a lot of momentum. Not as much as the Eagles do because they're obviously the best team ever. But the Colts, they got momentum, and I think the Chiefs. This is a game they can lose. That's just me
Absolutely.
talking.
It's
A game they
Andy
can
Reid at
lose.
home in the playoffs. It's always a game that they can lose. I just feel like if they don't get on top of the Colts early, that it's going to start to you get that weird feeling in the stadium where everyone's kind of shitting their pants. You just think, "Oh God, no." Like every Minnesota playoff game you've ever watched. Everyone is just sitting there thinking, fuck, here we go. It's going to happen to us. And they got the
Yeah.
right side of it in that miracle and never again. Look what happened. They've had to pay the price for that this year. But if you're a Chiefs fan, you're never going to think that this game is won until the zeros are on the board.
Yeah.
But you need a little bit of something early in that thing to keep the crowd in it. Because if Andrew Luck goes up 14, people are going to think, yeah, I mean, Mahomes, the offense, it can come back, but that doubt is going to creep into the stadium.
Yeah,
They need
yeah.
they need a touchdown early. That's what they need. They need to get themselves to believe. I know they're the number one seed. They've been the best team in the NFL, arguably them or the Rams or the Chargers throughout the year, or I guess the Saints as well. But man, I just don't know if I can trust Andy Reid against a red hot Andrew Luck. But I fucking love Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. What's the biggest factor in the game? I think it's Pat. I mean, that guy used to tell me Weed Mahomes is the biggest factor. And I got to take the Chiefs to cover that 5.5. So there's everyone get on the Colts now.
So the
Before
Chiefs,
that-
the Colts are gonna win
before that fucking line moves.
Nice,
Get on
nice.
now. Get on the Colts now before that line moves.
See, for these divisional games, I don't even like picking a team because the game is just going to be so good. Like for this game, I don't care what the over is. If the over is 70, you take the over. I'm sorry, if you don't think the line is 70, you take the over. I think this game is just going to be one of those games where we're going into halftime 21 fucking 18 or some crazy shit. I think this is going to be one of those games. I think Pat Mahomes, he's going to have a hard time, but he's going to really put the team on his back. He's going to start playing really well. He
I
doesn't
mean,
have
they
a
got
choice.
it. Basically, someone's got to win this thing 30-27 or 30-31-28, something like that. That's a lot of points, but I think that Andrew Luck can put up a bunch of them on that Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah.
defense. I don't think that the Colts are so great on the road defensively. They're not the Ravens. They're not even the Cowboys. I don't feel like as far as their defense goes.
Mhm.
So
It's gonna be a
I do
shootout.
like.
It's going to be a shootout for sure. Because
I'm not putting my money. I am picking the Chiefs. I'm not putting my money on that game on them.
Really?
I'm putting it on that over that you're talking about.
yeah,
Because
for
that,
sure.
if I'm going to go down, I want to go down on that one with the over. I don't want to be sad when Patrick Mahomes throws touchdown passes. That's why I
Mhm.
don't want to, root against the Chiefs. If I'm rooting for somebody in this game, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I like Andy Reid. I feel like he needs a couple more feathers in his cap to get the, his just kind of, due as a coach. And I like the Chiefs to win this thing. I think it is high scoring though.
Definitely. I really don't want to say much about that other than if the Colts win, be careful if you're a female. Don't go out,
Don't get
for
in the
obvious
limo.
reasons.
Don't get in the limo. We're breaking out the victory mortar and pestle yet again. I wonder if Jim Irsay gets a bigger one. Like if he's got
For a
like
playoff one?
like a regular season one. He's got a wild card one, and then he's got division round one. And he's got some super pestle.
Yeah. You got like the super pestle.
for
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
if they win the Super Bowl.
It's like
And
a
maybe
beer
like that
bong.
Super Bowl one, the pestle part of it is shaped like the Lombardi like the Lombardi trophy.
Made from like real gold or something.
Yeah, it's made of
What
that
he
same
probably
stainless
has is
steel.
He probably has a those things that old people wear in their nose for like oxygen. He probably has one of those things, but like a beer bong style, where like you pour mortared, what is it, mortared and pestled medicine tablets into it, and it goes down the tube and into your sinus cavity, where you get intoxicated with sweet drugs. He probably has one of those. That's probably the super mortar.
Jim, you're bleeding out your tube again. Change that thing out. I got it all clogged up.
It's all clogged again, brother.
Won't be able to get any more powder up there.
So I'm taking the Colts.
You got the Colts.
If I was going to choose somebody, I'd take the Colts, but the over is what I'm looking at. I think that's going to be a sick over.
We're both looking at the over. Where you at, Coin? All right. So the wonderful Coin, he's on the away team. He's on the Colts as well.
Of course.
I'm the only one that believes in Andy. I don't even know why we flipped that. Thank you, Coin, for reminding me. You're always going to be on the Colts, no matter what.
A couple of weeks ago, there was a mistake. He flipped, and he actually went the other direction.
Oh, wow.
He actually ended up picking, I think he picked Texans instead of the Colts. And it was a big mistake.
Big mistake. That's administrative error on my part, really. Yeah. When it comes down to it, I'm going to take the blame for that.
It's about like a true leader.
It's about embracing leadership, okay, people? There's no bad teams. There's only bad leaders. Well, I like Jason Garrett, head coach of the Cowboys. They're not a bad team. Is he a bad leader? That's debatable. They're 11-6 this year. They're heading the Rams 13-3. Over-unders 49.5. Rams are 7-point favorites at home. The Cowboys are this year's, I don't want to say they're this year's Eagles, but they got a lot of that nobody believes in us vibe. They've got a good defense.
Momentum, man. They got that momentum.
They got Zeke. Bring up. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Skip Bayless said something a couple weeks ago. It seemed like poppycock, like total nonsense. But now it seems less like that. That the Cowboys were going to host the NFC Championship game. Which, if they win and the Eagles win, I'm not saying the Eagles win. I'm just saying the Eagles are going to win. So I don't know about the Cowboys, but I wouldn't mind that as a Nick Foles fan. I like that matchup against the Cowboys more than I like the matchup against the Rams the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I mean, they're playing the Saints, you know.
Well, I don't want to look past the Saints. I don't want to disrespect the Saints as a number one seed.
Yeah.
So I don't want to look past them. We'll get to that.
Well, let's get into that. Yeah, we'll get to that. You, sir. You, sir, fucking
I'll do everything I can. To stoke the flames.
You got a lot of heart, a lot of momentum.
Rally the troops.
Yeah.
But the Rams, their roster is a little thin after you get past that top layer. They got some injuries. They haven't had the firepower these last couple weeks that we saw earlier in the year. People get concerned. Have they been figured out? I don't know about that. But I do know that I don't like the Cowboys on the road in the playoffs. I don't like it. Nothing I like about it. I get it. They got a defense that travels. The offensive line isn't what it used to be. And I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to Dak Prescott. There's just certain people that I'm not a believer in. One of those people is Jeff Driscoll. Absolutely, Jeff Driscoll, more than anybody else. I think more than anyone that's ever played an NFL ever quarterbacked in the NFL.
He won a game, though.
I don't know if I've ever believed in anyone less than I believed in Jeff Driscoll. Maybe Ryan Lindley. I don't know if you remember him, but holy cow, that guy was a shit show.
Who was the guy who was Notre Dame quarterback, and he was Cam Newton's backup?
Jimmy Clausen, the guy with the very strong furrowed brow.
That's the guy. That guy.
I mean, he had some hype, though. I think he was a top draft pick. I'm not number one, but I think he was a first-round draft pick.
We were just talking about total disasters at the helm, and he was like that guy, you know. He was born to be a quarterback in the NFL roster, but
or Matt Schaub once he started throwing interceptions. That was crazy.
Dude, he wasn't throwing interceptions. He was throwing pick sixes.
Yeah, totally nonstop. Every fucking time. Every time. There could be a pick six or two in this game. Cowboys got a good set of linebackers. Yep. Rams are good up in the front four. And Ndamukong Suh, I guess he's having a pretty good year, but he's not been a dominating player by any stretch of the imagination. Aaron
Mhm.
Donald, he's a defensive line with a six-pack,
beast.
and presumably defensive player of the year coming his way.
Well, Khalil
Uh,
Mack too. You got Khalil too, so you can't really put.
you got Khalil
You can't
Mack.
just.
There's no Khalil Mack on the Rams. He's on the Bears.
No, you're saying
Oh,
defensive
as
player of the year.
defensive player of the I think Donald's way ahead of him.
That's what I was reading too. But you said a couple things. You said a couple things that I agree with. The Rams, they are in decline, and you don't want to be. See, I always disagree with you saying momentum is such a big deal. I don't agree with you, but the worst thing is declining at the end of the season, and that's going back to that. That's why I'm worried about the Chiefs because they've been kind of cold at the end of the season. Same thing with the Rams. They've been kind of cold. And there's no home field advantage in LA. It's not like they're playing in Foxborough or Kansas City. They're playing in fucking Los Angeles, dude.
There's going to be a
People-
decent amount of Cowboys fans there. You got to think, right?
Exactly. There's going to be people going bananas, all these Cowboy fans, and they've got the momentum. If you really do think momentum is a big deal, the Cowboys' defense is getting a little tighter. Their defense is kind of underrated right now. I think this one's hard to choose. This is going to be a good one, too. This might be an interesting under, but I think the Rams might take this. As weird as it is to say, I think the Rams might win.
I don't think that's weird to say. They're 7-point favorites at home, so there's nothing weird about that. That's for sure.
Maybe I'll
Nothing
take
weird.
The Cowboys then.
You're
This would be
taking
a
the
good game.
Cowboys. The coin's taking the
be a good game.
Cowboys. So
Fuck
you
it. Cowboys, baby.
Cowboys. How
Clapper.
about them Cowboys? You better follow.
Cowboys.
You better follow. If you're putting money on that, you better follow Skip Bayless's Twitter account during the game because you'll need to do that. That'll add to your entertainment. That'll really put some juice on things. If you and he, I don't know how to speak English, are
sir.
rooting for the same team. So that'd be interesting to be on his
Needless
team.
to say, I'll be on the couch at the same time you're going to be on the couch. So anything crazy happens on Twitter, you just send it my way. I'll be balls deep in fucking Papa John's garlic butter sauce, and I'll be on
their
my couch
delicious
watching the
cheesy
game.
bread. They're six.
I do like the cheesy bread.
They're 6 cheese cheesy bread.
Domino's has that dope fucking brownie lava cake where you like, you
Yeah,
like push into
had
it,
it.
and it's like,
Yeah,
with some
it's
ice cream
pretty-
on the side. Ooh,
They don't give you the
forget it.
ice cream though. You'd have to plan ahead for that. You'd have to.
That's
plan
what we're adults here, okay, Bobby?
Okay.
We're fucking adults. That's why
We're
you know,
adults here.
We're adults.
We're
All
grown
right,
men.
let's talk Chargers, Patriots here.
We're adults. We're not one of the 14 kids that Philip Rivers has. As he brings the Chargers into New England, Philip Rivers has never beaten Tom Brady. He's 0-7. Chargers 13-4. Pats 11-5. Over under 48 points. The Pats are 4-point favorites at home. That tells me Vegas
That's
thinks
crazy.
that
That's
they
crazy.
are 1 point better than the Chargers on a neutral field. Tough to argue with that assessment. They're pretty evenly matched. I think overall, San Diego has the deeper roster. And my worry about this game, if I'm a Pats fan, is Melvin fucking Ingram and Joey Bosa. Because they did a great
They're out.
job last week just controlling the Baltimore Ravens offensive line. I thought they dominated. And I get worried if I'm the Patriots. They've got some issues with injuries on the offensive line. And Tommy, he runs like Phil, and that's not good because neither one of them run like Lamar Jackson. And I get worried about Brady ending up on his ass and having some problems moving the ball.
No, I don't disagree with you. But you're going back to on neutral ground. What about like on neutral ground with good weather? I mean, you have to give this one to the Chargers, right?
I
Good
think they've got
weather.
the advantage. I think they're the better football team. I think
What about-
overall they're just a
What
better
about playing
team.
in
And
Foxborough?
they love playing on the road. They get off on that shit.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, this has prepared them. You reap what you sow. They played 16 fucking away games, and you think a couple fucking stupid Boston fans are gonna rile these people up? Are you kidding me? This is nothing for them.
They're used to getting jeered in their own stadium of just people
By-
not fucking showing up.
by Chargers fans talking shit.
Yeah,
Fucking-
they get
fucking
roasted by
Chargers.
everybody, by Chargers fans, by the opposing team's fans, and then
Yeah.
by the empty fucking seats. Like
Yeah.
that's a roast in and of itself. That person hated me so much they didn't even show up to the game. That's how little that person thought of my athletic performance. I feel like I'm in a WNBA game right now. This is ridiculous.
That guy's wearing a tie-dye shirt. He doesn't care about the other team or us. He just got free tickets. He's just some asshole that was walking by the StubHub arena and when they were handing out tickets. And a third of the stadium has tarps on it. Come on.
He referred a patient to his dermatologist's office, so he fucking won a raffle. And now there he is in a tie-dye shirt because he's got really no better way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
I thought this was a Comic-Con convention. And I fucking get here, and then there isn't even seats, dude. There's like bleachers. It's like fucking like high school bleachers. You know what I mean?
That's an insult. Unbelievable. That's an insult to many high school football stadiums. I'm sure way better than StubHub.
How can you root against Phillip Rivers? I mean, regardless of what your pick is, I'm going to pick the Chargers here because I'm kind of all in on the Chargers. I want the Chargers to take it down. I'm officially putting my bandwagon shirt on. My Chargers. Go Bolts. Go Bolts till I die. Ride or die.
Ride or die. Well, I'm on the Pats. I'm on the Pats bandwagon until Gronk retires. This could be his last ride. I mean, this could be Gronk's last ride. In my heart of hearts, I am rooting for a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. That was ideal for me.
You want Pats Eagles
redemption tour. But and I don't care. I want the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win again after perhaps a 7-8 touchdown performance by Sir Nicholas Foles. I mean, that's in the world that I build. That's the way things go down. So right. I'm rooting into
level 5. You've built a world where Nick Foles is king.
I think I might already be there. And then the Pats. I mean, I'm rooting for Gronk to have 3 touchdown catches in that game as well. But we'll wait for that. The only way to get there is if the Pats win. Do they cover the 4 points? Ooh, I could see this being a field goal game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be on the Chargers. I'm gonna be on the Chargers to cover those 4 points. This is where I'm looking at a sneaky under. I can see this thing being slow, being methodical, not a ton of offense, some defensive stops in the red zone. I could see that being. I mean, you got to be 20, basically 27-24. I mean, it's 48 points. That gets you to 51. But I'm thinking common scores.
What's the line right now?
It's 48. Okay. So over-under is 48, which is actually a 1.5 less than Cowboys-Rams. So I like that.
Weird because I would take the under for the Cowboys-Rams game.
I think the lowest scoring game is going to be Cowboys-Rams or Chargers-Pats. I mean, Vegas thinks that too, obviously, but I'm in line with that. And I think of those two. Of those two, I feel like the lowest scoring game could actually be Cowboys-Rams.
I agree.
I mean, you could see a couple long Cowboys drives where they get stopped in the red zone, kick some field goals. They have a little bit of success against Goff, same way the Eagles did, and that thing stays pretty close at a pretty low number.
Yeah, it just depends really because like, for example, against Seattle, they had that game. They won 24-22. I mean, the score was so low. It was like 12-10 going into the fourth quarter. Like 14-10.
Oh, I know.
And then in the fourth quarter, it's like 3 touchdown. I'm not saying anything about the conspiracy theory, but I think you're right. I think those games on some level are going to be really, really slow. And depending on what the referees want to do in the fourth quarter, you could see just an explosion in the fourth quarter. So we'll see. I think that game is going to be really good too. And that's why I'm excited, man. All 4 of these games are going to be good, except for this last one, because there's just something about it. I just have no interest in this final game here.
No interest in this final game. That's okay. More Eagles-Saints for me to watch. Eagles 10-7 now, going to the Saints 13-3, a number 1 seed. Over-under is 51. The Eagles are being given a very, very generous 8 points. I get that is mostly based off of a supreme ass whooping that they took at the hands of the Saints less than a month ago. But that was
was without Nick Foles, though, right?
Yeah, that was without Nick Foles. They're a different team. They're a different team now. It's not the same team heading back to New Orleans on Sunday. Not even close. They've got the power of God at their side. I don't think God loves anybody more than Nick Foles. And it's going to be, hey, you get the Saints. That's tough. I mean, how do you go against the Saints if you're God? But you got Nick Foles as well. And I don't see any way that I don't see any way the Eagles don't win this thing. I'm just gonna say it. I don't see any way that the Eagles can lose. You play this game 100 times, they win it 95 out of 100.
Are you telling me that Are you telling me that the house that I live in that is covered in shit, you're saying that it smells because of the poop? It doesn't make any sense to me. I thought
it's not the mildew.
It's not the mildew or the dirt.
It's not the mildew.
I think Shayna from My Strange Addiction, Poop Lady. I think she's fucking delusional, and I think you're fucking delusional. I think you're fucking delusional. You're talking Drew Brees. He's a little bit better than Mitch. All right, Mitch Trubisky. The offense is firing, and the defense isn't that bad. Their defense started off terrible, but it's a little bit better. And they're in the Superdome or the Mercedes-Benz Dome. And all those crazy New Orleans fans, they just watched LSU kick the shit out of UCF. And they've been bored for the last week. You know what I mean? They've been at home waiting for this game. It's going to be insane. It's going to be loud. It's going to be difficult.
That's going to feed the beast that is Nick Foles.
I hope you're right.
Fucking feed him.
I hope you're right. I'm gonna root for Nick, but I think the Saints. I think this is just gonna be over in the second quarter, and you'll be playing video games with me at like 6:30 p.m. We'll be playing some Call of Duty Black Ops. Much to your sadness, you'll probably get a couple rounds in. You'll kind of bitch about it, and then go to sleep and just be sad for the rest of the night. That's what I'm predicting. But I'm hoping for an Eagles win.
No, you're not. You're not really hoping for an Eagles win.
I am. I want the. Well, actually, I hitched my wagon to the Cowboys, but I still at the same time I enjoy the Nick Foles saga because it's so ridiculous. It's so absurd. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Is every game he wins is more money in his pocket. Like somebody's coming out. And then for me, really, what it is, what it really is somebody's gonna, he's gonna go somewhere where he's wanted. Not that they don't love him in Philly, but they got a Wentz problem in Philly. Mm-hmm. You got a problem, and his name's Carson Wentz. Enjoy not winning any more Super Bowls with that guy as your quarterback. Fucking Mr. Glass. He's a redheaded Sam Bradford, that guy.
Mm-hmm,
and
totally.
Every game that Nick wins, it's like he ends up with more credibility heading in to whatever new situation he's going to end up in.
It's like the Joe Flacco perfect storm. It's really what it is. I mean, he could get signed by the Ravens next year,
No, they're going with Lamar. But they're
getting rid of Joe.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he's not going to sign up to be Lamar Jackson's fucking backup. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
You don't know.
Get out of here with that nonsense. You're just trying to rile me up. You're
getting all fucking excited, bro. Chill, bro. Well, just chill, man.
So Robbie B going to be back up to that guy, the rookie? No, I don't think so. Oh, wait, that is what happened to Joe Flacco, but, Foles is a better Super Bowl MVP. He's got the Eagles back in it. I like the over. I think Foles might put up 50 by himself, so I'll give Breeze.
Easy.
Yeah, it's an easy 50, I feel like, for the Eagles offense. Can the Saints keep up? I don't know. That's a question mark. And the answer to that question for me is no. I'm ignorant, kind of Chris Farley. Dumb Bears. I'm there at the Eagles. Who do you think's gonna win this game? The Eagles. Why? Because they're the fucking Eagles. They're the Eagles.
The fucking Eagles.
And
speaking of, man, did you see last week the guy with the Mike Ditka outfit in the stands? He had the cigar and he had like the sweater and shit. Did you see him?
I love a good Ditka outfit.
Ooh,
I love a good one.
It was really good. It was like spot on. It's fucking spot on.
Yeah, he went home sad though. Yeah, it's a fucking. He went home sad.
Yeah, he wasn't happy. He definitely wasn't happy.
There are a lot of good clips of Bears fans destroying things. There's a great one out there of this guy just destroying this interior door, and as he's doing it, and he's just screaming, "Nick fucking Foles! Nick fucking Foles. Yeah,
That's awesome.
kind of is fuck that guy, and also incredulous as to how can we lose to Nick Foles, despite the fact that he's already been.
We just lost.
Yeah, we just lost to that guy. We're another feather in his cap.
Did you see the one where as the ball hits the post, some guy says, "Oh fucking year, Cody Parker! Oh fucking year!" And he's all mad. He's been doing it all year. He's been hitting the fucking thing all year, you know. But a lot of
he's been terrible. So I'm on the Eagles with that 8. As far as the 8 points go, where are you at on that?
I'm definitely gonna take the Saints here. I think they're gonna be able to cover. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
You don't want to be wrong.
I do, but I think the over is interesting here with 51 points. I think the Saints alone are going to put up 40 points. So
yeah, and then
Nick
Foles is going to put up 50, so it should be a
Yeah.
comfortable cover. 90. What's
That'd
that?
be crazy.
90.
What's the highest scoring game? Let's Google that real quick. What's the highest scoring NFL game? Because this could be
The highest scoring NFL game, I believe, was that Chiefs Rams game that was played earlier in the year.
It's like 51-40 something, right?
Yeah, like 51-49. There's like 100 points got scored in that game. It was crazy. It was a Big 12 football game. Which, by the way, college football, you guys need to start. You need to move that fucking clock. Can we please get that clock moving?
Yeah. You're talking about the game starting at like 9:45, right? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about not stopping the clock after first downs. I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Like I would even be an opponent. I would even be a proponent of doing something.
NFL rules.
Something like NFL rules, and then outside of whatever 6 minutes and a half or 4 minutes and a half, whatever. If you throw an incomplete pass, that's a 10-second runoff. That's a 10-second runoff. Let's shorten this shit up.
It's like sudden death mode almost. You're kind of
if you run the ball, you're gonna run 30 to 40 seconds off of the game clock. But if you throw the ball, it doesn't move anywhere. Let's move that thing a little bit. If people are throwing the ball 70 fucking times a game, and there's 20 incompletions, I mean, good God. Even if there's 25 incompletions, good God, man. Like it is getting tough. And the review shit, they got to speed that up, man. Everybody's got to figure that the fuck out.
They got to fix that. That makes it unwatchable. Not even just college games, but even NFL games. They'll do that where it's like the same replay 9 times. And it's like, dude, the fucking guy's foot was out. Just hurry up and call it. But it's like you got to do the commercials. The refs got to call Vegas and make sure Vegas is making money. Like it's fucking absurd. And it's so obvious. Even Tony Romo, because he's kind of fresh. He hasn't like totally drank the Kool-Aid yet. Tony Romo, the last game he was announcing, was like, "Yeah, this is fucking stupid.
Let's hurry it up.
Let's
hurry the fuck up.
Can these guys just go play fucking football? Do we need to see another fucking Lysol commercial? Can we just play football, please?
Let's just play some football, and then. So I'm on the Eagles. You and the coin are both on the Saints. So fuck you guys. I think you're on. I think you faded me the entire time. I wish you nothing but the worst of luck.
I hope you die, sir.
For everything. I don't care if I lose everything as long as the Eagles can cover that 8 points, because I'm going to be in on that for sure.
Because I'm going all in.
I'm going to parlay that with the over. I'm going to do a couple things with that. As far as that goes. Maybe a couple 10-point teasers in there as well. You got to like the Colts in a 10-point teaser. Up to 15.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like the Chargers in a 10-point teaser all the way up to 14. Wow. And I love the Eagles. Like 18 points to the Eagles. Fucking free money, man. There you go. I just made everybody some free money right there. Last thing to talk about.
Yeah, because you're going to do the opposite of what you said.
Yeah. So last thing to talk about, I want to get your poker guy. You are a big NFL personnel guy. No, you are not. But I want to get your reaction with your expertise of the sport for all these new coaching hires. And if you don't know who the fuck these people are, you let me know. I'll explain them. Okay. Arizona Cardinals. They hired former disgraced Texas Tech. He wasn't disgraced, but he got fired. Guy who's never won anything, coach at Texas Tech, but is really good looking, Cliff Kingsbury. to be their head coach.
So why did they fire him first? Why did they?
Because he couldn't win football games. That's why.
So then, why would you hire him as a head coach?
That's a really good that's a really good question for everybody that works for Arizona. They're desperate to have Josh Rosen not suck. That's why. I mean, that's really the long and short of it. We really
nobody gives a fuck about football in Arizona, though, right? You've lived there. Do people care? Like,
people care?
Do people actually?
People care. They've got a good fan base, an active fan base.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they'll show the fuck up. I don't know. In 4 years, where's Cliff Kingsbury at? Is he the head coach of Arizona? No.
Well, did he sign a 4-year contract? Let's first ask us the basic questions. How long is this contract?
It doesn't matter. All these contracts are the same. They're usually 4 years with the club option for the 5th. But they'll can you after 3 years if you're not doing it. I mean, you saw Arizona already fired a coach after 1 fucking year. So
true.
4 years from now, Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator for some other NFL team. I think that's what
so
he's
Cliff
doing.
Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. Confirmed.
Yeah, correct. That's what he's going to be doing in 4 years. So the Cleveland Browns, they hired Freddie.
This is a weird one.
Yeah, this is like this is a settling thing, man. They got a little bit of success. So they hired Freddie Kitchens, who on his resume has 8 games as an offensive coordinator and is not Hugh Jackson. Apparently is his biggest is not Greg Williams and is not Hugh Jackson. And then Baker Mayfield likes him. Those seem to be.
Let me ask you a question. You're pretty astute. Is this an RG3 moment here where like Baker's dad called in and said, hey, keep this guy around? Kind of like when RG3 was like, hey, hire, or RG3's like dad was hire the Baylor coach because RG3 is going to play better. I think this is one of those moments where they ask to Baker, hey, do you like Freddie Kitchens? And Baker's like, yep. And they're like, okay, we're going to make Baker happy. But that's not really a good decision. Who gives a fuck what Baker thinks? Leave him with Freddie Kitchens on the offense. Let somebody else be the coach, you know?
I don't think this has anything to do with them kind of settling for I would say settling for Freddie Kitchens has anything to do with Baker Mayfield. I think it has everything to do with Jimmy Haslam and him being a criminal piece of shit and people not wanting to work for him because he's a piece of shit, who's a big Tennessee booster, by the way, of course, right? Why wouldn't he be? You got pieces of shit and you got people that are associated with the University of Tennessee. They're usually one and the same. Denver Broncos.
Oh, by the way, the poop lady was from Tennessee, by the way.
Was she?
Anecdote.
Is she from Tennessee?
Yeah.
Obviously.
She's from Knoxville, I
think. So she's I'm surprised I didn't see that volunteer flag hanging in the back. She probably.
Well, the shirt usually is orange, but it's been faded from years of just
It's burnt orange. Very burnt
orange.
He spilled some dirty water on that thing. So the Denver Broncos, they went out and hired Bears defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. He's a really old guy who coaches defense. They went against the grain. John Elway did it, so it probably won't work out, is all I would say. This is really where I'm at on that. That's my, 4 years from now, where's Vic Fangio? He's a defensive coordinator for the Bears, probably. I feel like his life's going to come full circle, and he's not going to. I feel like he's not going to be with the Bears. Be with the Broncos for the entirety of his contract.
It's crazy that these guys, I don't know. I don't hire and fire people, but if you're good at something, why would you be removed from that position? You know what I mean? If Vic Fangio is so good at taking that Bears defense that was the bottom half of the NFL, now it's like a top 3 defense, blah, 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 so good. Why are you making him the head coach? Let him just do defensive coordinator stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's not a lot of what John Elway does makes sense. He's too busy being a prick to people to fucking pay attention to the things that are important. And I'm not hating.
He's going to have Von Miller. He's going to have Von Miller. So maybe the Von Miller thing is
going to have Bradley Chubb too. So he's going to have pass rushers.
Those guys are already good. You know what I mean? Their defense is already stout. Why not hire somebody who's good at offense? You know what I was thinking too? I was thinking Josh McDaniels could have gone here.
He already went there.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
He already went there. That was a disaster.
But I'm saying the redemption tour.
Redemption tour.
No, they love him. They got Von Miller because of him and Tim Tebow, the late great Tim Tebow.
Oh, Tim Tebow's getting fucking married. I don't know if you saw that.
Dude or a woman?
What's that?
Woman? To a woman, like a full blown like Christian woman?
Yeah, my understanding, she's a.
Oh
yeah, boy. Yeah.
That virginity card is about to get out of there. Oh, here we go.
Timmy about to get that fucking poontang. Yeah, he's going for it. He's like a guy that's never eaten, anything sweet before. He's never had candy in his life, and the first thing he's gonna eat is like a giant fucking hot fudge sundae.
Yeah, he's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it.
He's having a good time with that, Timmy. He's 31. So he's gonna be busting a nut, dude. He's gonna be busting a nut like that dude over that giraffe from earlier. He's gonna be fucking getting some. No one in Green Bay.
Look up Tim Tebow's first girlfriend. He had his one chick he was dating for a while who had he just likes them titties, man. That's what it is.
Liking them titties, moves. Man. God says I can't fuck you, but it doesn't mean I can't get up on them titties. Find that in the Bible. What about them titties, oh Lord? Joseph said. And the Lord said, get up on them titties. That's Ezekiel 24:17. It's a little known passage. Don't worry, guys. It's Old Testament.
It's in Deuteronomy, so you kind of.
It's in Deuteronomy. It's between the like all the stuff about the goats and keeping people as slaves. And that's all that sort of stuff.
Something about magical snakes, but it's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Speaking of magical snakes, named Aaron Rodgers. Fucking. Oh wait, no, I'm not his brother. I won't talk about him like that. But he got a new head coach. Titans offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur. This has Vance Joseph written all over it. So Vance Joseph was a coordinator for 1 year. The Dolphins defense is fucking terrible. And then he ended up in Denver, flopped there. Matt LaFleur, very similar. He replaced the exotic smash mouth that I said at that time that was instilled in Tennessee with something even fucking worse. Granted, he did have Blaine Gabbert for parts of the year, but
true.
You gotta deal with that. And this is stupid. Like, this is fucking stupid. Yeah, I don't know why they did this.
Seems to me like a bad hire. I don't know why they would do that. Maybe it's like an Aaron Rodgers move, just looking past. Like, I don't know, but like you said, this is either going to work out really, really well or be a raging dumpster fire. And at this point, I think Aaron Rodgers' career is over because it's going to take him about 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years to get the right coach. By then, Aaron Rodgers is going to be done in the NFL. He's going to be fucking bored. He's going to be in Cancun hanging out with Tim Tebow. He's not going to be playing football. That's for sure. So good job, Green Bay. You guys wasted Aaron Rodgers. Good fucking job.
It's over. It's over. You wasted the last part. At least it wasn't Joe Philbin. That's about all you can say about this. Like, at least we didn't fucking hire. We didn't hire Joe Philbin.
There is some good news, though. We did not hire Joe Philbin, okay? So Green Bay fans, rejoice. Rejoice.
New Green Bay coach will not be Joe Philbin. Oh, thank God. Who is it? It's not Greg. It's not Greg Williams, is it? Of course it's not Greg Williams.
It's not that guy who was like trying to kill people on the other side of the field, is it? Oh, okay, cool. Because that somebody like that shouldn't hold a position in the NFL, right? Oh yeah, because we have high standards. Okay. Well, he was just the head coach for like 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 games. So NFL
cool.
Says one thing, does another. Fuck you, NFL. Fuck you, Roger Goodell. Boo!
Boo! Roger Goodell.
That'll never get old.
I boo every April. I stand there. I fucking scream at my TV. Boo! Fuck you, Roger Goodell. Boo! Makes you feel like you're at the draft, man.
Totally.
Former number 1 draft pick, Jameis Winston. He's getting a new head coach. Bruce Arians. Where's Bruce Arians at 4 years from now? I think he's drinking heavily. I think Jameis Winston is still his quarterback. I feel like they can get something done. Unless Jameis keeps being Jameis off the field, which is not inconceivable. But if he can get it together off the field, I think Arians can get him together on the field. And
That's interesting.
I think they might eat a few finger W's together. 2 fingers of fucking Jameson whiskey as well. And I like this for the Bucks. I think they're gonna get Todd Bowles down there too to run the defense. So they've got.
Why do you like Bruce Arians? Why is it just like a white people thing? Because he just looks like one of your cousins. You like him, and he wears one of those cool little berets.
Those are Kangol hats. I'm very much against those things. I'm very much against that hat that he wears. I'll come out and say that for the record.
You love it. You love it. You love it. Don't lie.
I thought he was a good coach. He's always been good with quarterbacks, and I just feel like he can coach football. I feel like that's the case. They haven't had somebody like that in Tampa for a while, and it could be good for Jameis. It's put up or shut up for Jameis. Because he's in that 5th year. Yeah,
this is his last year. This is his last year, I think.
Yeah, it's get it done or end up like Ryan Tannehill.
Well, let's take some Jameis Winston predictions. And I'm not an optimist in this case. I'm thinking that glass is half full, and it's really. I'm sorry, I said half full. The glass is actually half empty, and it's really empty, like fucking super dry.
I don't know. I think 4 years from now, Bruce Arians is still a coach and Jameis Winston's still a quarterback at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I feel like that's
amazing.
That's the case.
Amazing.
Yeah. And the former head coach / bad guy from Ghost, Adam Gase, is back in the NFC East. What the fuck happened? He got hired by the Jets. Jets fans are beside themselves, rightfully so. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know.
I get it. The only thing I could possibly think of is, all right, you get these built-in excuses of Ryan Tannehill was the dude's quarterback. That's big. Brock Lobster was his number 2 option. Also big. And that Mike Tannenbaum was picking all his players. So those are 3 pretty big handicaps as a head coach. But it seems like most of the people didn't fucking like him, or at least a good number of people didn't like him. Not a player's coach.
So that he would fight people, like he would fight his teammates or his. That's what they were saying, right? He would fight his players, like verbally, like get into altercations with them, which is stupid. Because now you're going to be under the microscope in New York, where Rex Ryan couldn't fart without people criticizing his farts. So now you have this dude who is or is not the bad guy from Ghost. People are going to have a field day. They're going to go crazy on this guy.
That's a bad hire. 4 years from now, Adam Gase is definitely the offensive coordinator for probably, the Denver Broncos. I think he's back in Denver.
I think he's back in, maybe he's in Montreal, coaching like the Alouettes.
The Alouettes. He's going to win the
first Silver Cup.
He's going to win the Grey Cup. He's going to win the Grey Cup this year. He's a Grey Cup champion. Cincinnati
Silver Cup.
Cincinnati Bengals, last one to talk about. They are apparently going to hire some dude I never heard of. His name is Zach Taylor. He's a quarterback coach for the Rams. And there's been too many of them. This guy knows Sean McVay. Here's your head coaching job. But that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He apparently knows Sean McVay. And he's not Marvin Lewis. So you got to be fucking pumped. Like, if you're in Cincinnati, somebody that you don't know you'll take it. You'll take everything about it.
Yeah, you did it, guys. Congratulations. You did it.
Congratulations. I think 4 years from now, Zach Taylor is still the coach of the Bengals because it takes him a long time to fucking shit can people. So he's got a long leash. If there's any. So
you're saying in 8 years, Zach Taylor could potentially still be the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals.
He gets one playoff win. How much time does that buy him? Marvin got 16 years and never got one. So I mean,
he got 16 years.
Yeah, 16 years. He never won a playoff game.
As the head coach, continuous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 years straight. He was the coach for the Bengals. I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. 15 or 16 years. He was second tenure to only Bill Belichick. And
oh my God.
The Bengals were a fucking
why?
The Bengals were a dumpster fire for at least a solid decade before he got there.
Well, that's just because they had the Carson Palmer thing, and he was pretty good. Blah 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 blah. But
now I'm talking about the '90s. I'm talking about the '90s were fucking terrible. After the heyday of Boomer Esiason and Ickey Woods and the Ickey Shuffle and all that.
They're
good
still
stuff.
terrible though.
Yeah, it's been 30 years.
Like the Bengals are fucking good. The Bengals are still terrible.
It's been 30 fucking years since they've been relevant.
Dude, there's just like trash when you watch those games and it's windy. There's just trash everywhere. Like they'll be like the referees will be talking and there's like garbage. Like literally garbage, bro. Like is this game in the Call of Duty map Favela, or is this game being played in America? This is fucking stupid.
I'm in a favela.
You know?
I'm in a favela. So, all right, everybody, get out there, watch these games. It's a great weekend of football. And when we see you again, Nick Foles may or may not, probably will be in the NFC Championship game.
That's stupid, but okay. Bye, guys.